From Marsali and Claire's bloody surgery moment to Jamie having slimy bloodsuckers all over his face, these are Outlander scenes that got deleted. Some of these deleted scenes have given us a lot of memorable and sweet moments, but I've got to be honest, some of them are so gory and inappropriate that I'm glad they didn't make the final cut, like the time Claire decided to do an autopsy. In Season 5, Claire takes some big steps in her medical practices, and not only does she make penicillin, but she tries her hand at autopsies. And man, that's nasty. Shortly after getting started, she realizes that she'll need an extra set of hands. And that's when she zeroes in on Marsali. After Claire sees Marsali chopping up a pig, she knows she's the perfect choice. Later in a podcast, actress Lauren Lyle, who plays Marsali, revealed a major moment in one surgery scene that was cut. Remember how shocked Marsali was when Claire showed her Mr. Farish's bloody body? At first, Marsalia didn't want to participate, because back then, people believed it desecrated corpses. When Claire told her they were going to investigate his cause of death, she eventually came around to the idea. The thing is, though, the scene was supposed to end in a much more explicit way. Turns out, Marsali was so curious that she lifted up the sheets to see what Mr. Farish was packing, if you get my drift, and apparently it was part of the script. The creators eventually realized how weird that might look on screen, so they cut the scene before it got to that. And thank God, because that's something my eyes didn't need to see, but that's not all. There's also that deleted scene when young Fergus is talking about prostitutes with Jamie. Yeah, you heard that right. Fergus was only 11 years old at that time. That just screams inappropriate. I'm not passing judgment on one of the oldest professions in human history, but I don't think 11-year-olds should be having adult conversations about hookers. Anyway, I want to give you guys the tea on what went down. In Season 2, Claire and Jamie spend much of their time in France, helping Prince Charles build an army for the Battle of Culloden. In order to get close to him, Jamie spends a lot of time at a local brothel, which is Charles's favorite place to hang out. In the deleted scene, Claire walks downstairs as Jamie's about to leave and overhears Fergus advising Jamie about one of the girls who works at the brothel. Now, I'm not going to repeat what he said because, trust me, they're words you never want to hear coming out of the mouth of an 11-year-old. Like, ever. Even Claire pointed it out and said,
"Explain why you're getting advice by prostitutes from an 11-year-old.
I mean, we were all thinking the same exact thing, right? Come on, Jamie, that wasn't very fatherly of you. The scene was also very emotional, with Claire looking sad because she thought Jamie didn't want to spend time with her, and she was worried about what he was doing at the brothel. She even called him out for it in the deleted scene, and to defend himself, all he said was,
"Charles likes what he likes."
Nice save, man. Obviously, the only reason the scene was cut is because Fergus talks so inappropriately. And speaking of Fergus, remember the time when one of the redcoats cut off his hand? Well, what fans didn't get to see was Jamie getting his revenge in Season 3. After surviving the Battle of Culloden, Jamie lived in a cave for 7 years to hide from the British, and it was during this time that he saw his adoptive son getting his hand cut off for not backing down in front of the redcoats. Even though Jamie was there, he couldn't have stopped it, because it would have meant that he and everyone else who was helping him hide would have been killed. Jamie felt so guilty for not doing something to stop it. And if you watch Season 3, you'll think that there was no justice for Fergus. But in a deleted scene that's since been released, it turns out that Jamie killed the corporal responsible for the vile act. During the scene in question, the two of them fight each other, and the corporal tries to save himself by threatening Jamie, saying that if he dies, others will come after him for revenge. But as you know, Jamie never responds well to threats, and the corporal ends up meeting his maker. The scene ends with Jamie and Mary talking about the discovery of the body, and after the deleted scene came out, fans couldn't understand the reason for cutting the scene, but it turns out the creators felt the violent scene wasn't believable, and that it didn't fit in with the tone of the episode. Don't go anywhere though, because there's a lot more deleted scenes where that came from, and just a heads up. The next one might make you puke. I'm talking about a scene where Claire's examining human feces. I mean, you all know that in the world of Outlander, shit's always hitting the fan, and our favorite couple just can't catch a break. But in a deleted scene from Season 6, Episode 6, Claire took that literally. After the church service ends, Roger asks Jamie and Claire if they've seen the McNeils since they never miss church service. So Claire takes Malva, Lizzie, and Brianna to check up on the family. And when Claire reaches the McNeil residence, she realizes that something's really wrong. They're all dehydrated and dying. And the stench is something she'll never forget. In the deleted scene, Claire tries to get to the bottom of what caused the family to fall ill, as the deadly disease spreads all over the ridge. But here's the kicker. When Jamie comes to see what his wife is up to, he's shocked to find her examining human feces. And it's a total shit show. Claire then explains to Jamie that she's trying to search for a bacteria she recognizes. And I don't know about you, but I feel like that's one deleted scene producers should have kept hidden away because it's a real stinker. Okay, I should probably give these puns a rest now. I thought the exact same thing about the scene when Brianna's teaching Phaedra the alphabet. I'm sure most of you would agree that Outlander never shies away from showing the realities of the past, like in Season 4, when viewers got to see a slavery plantation. Claire wasn't surprised at all. But Brianna, on the other hand, was shocked to see the way white folks talked about the slaves. In the deleted scene, Brianna finds time to teach Phaedra the alphabet. And at first, it doesn't look so bad, right? I mean, Brianna had good intentions, and the scene would have explained why the two became so close in later episodes. So why did producers cut it? Well, to be honest, nobody knows the exact reason why, but according to one fan theory on Reddit, showrunners thought the whole thing would come across as a white savior complex moment. And that's one impression you don't want to leave on your viewers, ever. But none of these deleted scenes, no matter how messed up they happen to be, come close to a leech crawling all over Jamie's face. The deleted scene is from Season 1, Episode 2, and it beats all the other entries in this video. I always save the best for last. In the scene, we see good old Mrs. Fitz teaching Claire about the ins and outs of using leeches in a medicine. And it's so weird that Mrs. Fitz is so calm as she puts leeches on Jamie's face. And I won't lie, I screamed in disgust when I saw them. Of course, Jamie still looked good, even with leeches on his face. But honestly, take a look at the video, it'll make you feel like bugs are crawling all over your body. And the creepiness doesn't end there either. After the scene went viral, it was revealed on Twitter that there was an incident on set with escaped leeches. The leeches wanted more freedom, so they escaped from where they were being kept. And Sam Heughan yelled, "Get those fuckers away from me!" It is so funny to see him freak out like that. I guess Jamie is afraid of something after all. So there you have it. From Jamie having slimy bloodsuckers all over his face, to Marsali and Claire's bloody surgery moment. Those were Outlander scenes that got deleted.